No. Don't lick the glass yet. Wait till midnight. Not long. Yeah, we don't know. Jonas is number one. See that? Jonas is number one.
I had to hustle for this spot.
Yeah, you
Thinking about
What you playing for Halo 2, man?
Halo 2?
Yeah, dude, Halo 2.
Yeah.
Never heard of Halo 2?
I've heard of Halo.
Dude,
And
Halo
the
2
little
is
joints
sick.
of the angels,
Nah.
Hours, one of the most eagerly awaited video games finally goes on sale.
Preparing to rewrite retail history.
Video game is expected to have bigger first-day revenues than any movie has ever had an opening day at the box.
Across the country are anxiously awaiting the midnight release of a game called Halo 2.
I never really got to experience that. Halo 2 came out in 2004. I was born in 2008. Halo 3 came out a year before that. Meaning I really didn't get to experience the prime of Halo in its glory days, as everyone says it was. And I feel really upset. I mean, I only really got into Halo when Halo 4 was coming out. But I don't think that makes me any less of a Halo fan than anyone around. Because the amount this game means to me is baffling. In this video, I'll really only be talking about my personal experience and opinions on Halo and its franchise as a whole. I won't go too in-depth on the lore of the games, because this is really kind of made for Halo fans. And majority made for myself, because I've always really wanted to make a retrospective video, and I picked why not the most influential and greatest game ever to pick, other than Halo. I think it was the year 2013, and I was 5 years old. My mom owned an Xbox 360, and I was allowed to play on it occasionally. I didn't play too insane games. I mainly just played Call of Duty and Minecraft and sorts of stuff like that. Maybe some indie games that were free, like Castle Miner Z or Shoot Many Robots, some of my personal favorites. It's very funny how, despite how long ago it was, I could still remember the day that I got Halo. I know I didn't start with Halo CE or 2, but I instead started with 3. I was allowed to get one game that I really wanted for my birthday. And I scrolled for about an hour at all the games, all the choices I had. I could have got a new Call of Duty game, or some new game I just watched a YouTuber play or something. Could have got a texture pack in Minecraft, but one game piqued my interest. It was Halo 3. I mean, looking at the pictures and the trailers on YouTube, it seemed like such an amazing game. I asked myself, how have I never heard of this? I've been playing Xbox, and supposedly this game is the face of Xbox. I had a few online friends who had the helmets and stuff from the games, so I knew a little bit, but I never really played it. So I asked them, I want Halo. And when I first booted up that game, the music. I mean, nowadays that may not seem like much, but to a 5-year-old, that was the most coolest fucking intro I've seen to a game. And I played games like Gears of War and shit. But luckily, my parents thought to themselves, if I'm gonna get Halo 3, I might as well get Halo 1 and 2 at the same time. And I was so happy. Even though I really wanted to experience Halo 3 first, because that was the first game I found of the Halo games, I decided I was going to go in order. Let's start with Halo CE. Halo CE was such a phenomenal experience, and what a way to start off a franchise, man. It shows you everything you need to know. The Marines are the green dudes, and they're ready to fuck shit up. They were a lot like the guys from the Alien movies, you know, the toughened, funny, toughened soldiers. But then the Master Chief, man, he's this quiet guy, and he gets you so pumped, man, every time he's on screen. And don't even get me started with the premise. I mean, fighting aliens on a fucking foreign world with your Marine pals. I mean, it was everything that was capsulating to it. People back then. It's no wonder the franchise blew up. Now, I loved Halo CE. There's something about that old 2001 texture style, man. It was so rugged, but smooth, if you understand that. So I think it's safe to say, with my childhood experience with the Halo CE, it was pretty damn fucking good. And when I got done with that game, I was so ready to get popped right into Halo 2. But there was one part of the game that really did mess with me and make me almost drop the game. In Halo CE, there's a level called 343 Guilty Spark. And it's sort of the level that introduces a three-way kind of enemy style. You got the Marines, the Covenant, and then the Flood. I think saying I was scared of the Flood as a kid is a big fucking understatement. And it's the way they presented the Flood. I think the presentation of the Flood in this level is the best presentation I've ever seen in any video game. In all my 16 years of life, I have never seen an enemy presented so well and so anonymously than the Flood. The level starts off with you in these dark, dingy swamp, looking for Captain Keyes. But, there's your usual Covenant aliens, but they're a little scattered compared to how they usually are. They don't have any elites with them, too. These are just grunts and jackals on their own. But you just, as you're the Master Chief, you just slay right through them and continue as business. Until you start seeing friendly markers on your minimap. You must think, oh, there must be Marines in these woods fighting. As you hear gunfire and explosions and going off, but you never see one Marine corpse. You never see one body. You don't even find any human blood on the premises. So you think to yourself, oh, maybe our Marines are just doing so damn good, they're just not dying, but, I mean, come on now. Something different is happening in this level, and we are none the wiser. As you descend deeper and deeper, you fight on more and more waves of Covenant and all sorts of shit like that. But there's still a lack of Marines. I mean, you saw it. There was gunfire and explosions. There was UNSC weaponry. Where are the Marines? Where are the people who these Covenant are fighting? Have they retreated deeper into the base? It makes you question, what is really going on? What is going on behind the scenes? Until you find out. You find the Marines, but not really what you're hoping for. All the Marines are dead. There's blood scattered all around the room. Human blood. Helmets lying on the ground. Guns abandoned. Then what was shooting at the Covenant earlier?
Hold still! Hold still! Let him have it! Sergeant, we're surrounded. God damn it, Jenkins! Fire your weapon! There are too many, sir! Don't even think about it. Oh, this is local!
After watching a clip of your allies being torn apart by some unknown species, you hear it. the sounds, the slithering. A door busts open and you see what was seen in the clip crawling right towards you, expecting to do the same to you. But, you know, you're the fucking Master Chief. You deal with him pretty damn quickly. But still, in the lore, Master Chief is fucking terrified of these things. Master Chief got scared. Let that sink. I think the Flood is one of my favorite third-party fucking enemies in any video game ever. And that's not sugarcoating it. It's the best. It's the best setup. It's the best in the lore. And it makes me so sad that they don't ever use the Flood past Halo 3. They get replaced with some stupid bullshit Forerunner shit. But we'll get on to that later on in the video. You now backtrack your way through the facility you once went through, fighting Covenant, now fighting Flood. But don't worry, the Covenant are also there. You're in the same boat with them now, scared out of your fucking mind of these goddamn demons. I mean, I was so terrified of these things growing up as a kid. I was scared, man. I mean, when the Flood infectious form started swarming you, I felt so hopeless. I even had to get my dad to help me out with some of the parts because I was so scared. But he got me killed quite a bit because he wasn't never really a gamer. Other than the library mission, I think Halo CE was a perfect game for me as a kid. I mean, I loved it. I immediately jumped into Halo 2 as soon as I beat the game. I was so caught up with the story, too. I mean, the story of Cortana and the Ring and the Covenant. It was so great. I didn't think it could get any better. And then I played Halo 2, man. Damn, what an experience. Now, this game is probably some of the most Halo players' favorite, Halo 2. But, personally, my favorite was Halo 3, but we'll talk about that in a bit. But now I think it's time that we move past the game changer that was Halo CE into Halo 2. You know, the first 3 Halo games all have 3 different things that I really liked. Halo CE, I liked its aesthetic a lot. Halo 3, I really liked for its cinematography. But Halo 2 it's how badass that game was. They took everything from Halo CE and said, yeah, we're gonna crank this up to fucking 1 million. The guns were improved. The graphics were debatable. The enemies were improved. The lore was improved. The maps were improved. The fucking music, man! The fucking gameplay was some of the most fun I've ever had in any game. Halo 2 was in its prime. Was a godly set game. The dual wielding was added. Master Chief got his iconic armor that he's known for nowadays. It was sick. Someone at Bungie heard the original music at Halo CE and said, yeah, let's add some fucking rock to that shit. And holy fuck, that shit changed history with how good that music was. Oh my god. It was amazing. And getting the likes of Breaking Benjamin onto the fucking scene? Holy shit. Dude, this game was like fucking badass. Badass, the game. There's no other way to put it, bro. The Master Chief was fucking sealed into history with this game, bro. Halo 2 was the first Halo game to incorporate big multiplayer into it. I know, the pinnacle of multiplayer games didn't have multiplayer at the start. They had LAN, but I wouldn't really consider that full-on multiplayer. But no, Halo 2 started the Xbox Live genre. Holy fuck, what a kickoff, man. Halo 2 was some of the best memories I've ever had. No doubt, Halo 3 was so much better than Halo 2's multiplayer, in my opinion. But that doesn't make Halo 2 any lesser with how fun that game was, man. It added, you could play as elites in this game, man. The guys you fought in Halo CE? Yeah, well, you want to be one of them? You can now. And you know why you can be a fucking elite in the goddamn Halo 2 multiplayer? It's because you could be an elite in the story. Oh my god. And if we thought the characters could get more badass than Master Chief, we introduced the Arbiter, man. The Arbiter, by far, hands down, is one of the coolest fucking video games characters of all time, bro. Now, do I like him more than Master Chief? Hell fucking no. But god damn, the Arbiter's so fucking cool, man! Its energy sword, his rebellious nature, dude. And oh my god, couldn't have been done without Keith motherfucking David, bro. Keith David played the Arbiter. He don't even do video games that much. That boy's an actor. But no, he did the Arbiter and he played that motherfucker well. And this man can play himself in Saints Row 4. He can play an alien. I know Saints Row 4 came out after, but you get my point. The game was truly the definition of you have to play it to understand it. And I'm not even talking about my favorite Halo game. But at the very end, when it seemed like everything was getting really intense, the truth was getting away, the fight has been brought to Earth, and what the hell's going on with Cortana? It was insane, and then it just...
Sir, finishing this fight.
vanished. That's right. Halo 2 ended on a cliffhanger. Halo 2 is truly an amazing game, and it's what kicked off the Halo franchise. It was, I mean, you've seen the videos at the beginning of this video. It was insanely phrased before it even came out. And the phrase was well deserved, because it lived up to its expectations and brought Bungie into the spotlight. And then I got to the game that started my whole path with Halo. Halo 3, my favorite game ever created.
You ever wonder what's up there? Like what? Maybe someone up there was wondering what it's like here. I guess. Do you think we'll ever meet them? I hope so. Don't you?
I'm not kidding when I say Halo 3 has one of the best advertising I've ever seen for a video game. If Bungie knew what to do, it was advertising, and they did it fucking well with this game. Oh my god. The trailers, man. The trailers. It knew what it was doing. It knew that this game was going to be successful. Holy shit. And Halo 3 was remnants from Halo 2. It takes scraps from a game that was already imperfect and made an even better game. How do you do that? Halo 3, I loved about Halo 3 was its cinematography, its presentation, its vocals.
They let me pick. Did I ever tell you that? Choose whichever Spartan I wanted. You know me. I did my research, watched as you became the soldier we needed you to be. Like the others, you were strong and swift and brave. A natural leader. But you had something they didn't. Something no one saw but me. Can you guess? Luck.
I mean, Halo 3 is one of the games of all time, and I know I'm ultra mega glazing right now, but it's Halo 3, man. It deserves every bit of glaze that it gets. I need to add a little bit of extra frosting on top. I mean, what can I say that I've already not said? I think the intro segment for this is already said enough for me to why I love Halo 3, and I feel like it's the best in the franchise. It peaked. Halo peaked with Halo 3. Now, enough glazing of, this is the best game, this is the best game, this is the best game, over and over and over with the story. I mean, I already presented enough of it with the intro. Let's get on to Halo 3's pinnacle. The fucking multiplayer, man. Dude, the multiplayer was some of the most insane memories I had. I remember inviting my friends over to play some Halo 3 multiplayer. You know, we always played COD Zombies a lot back in the day, and, you know, Minecraft. But then, as soon as I got Halo 3, they were like, hell yeah, let's come over and play that shit. We played it for hours and hours on end. They brought chips and sodas and shit, and we just sit there and play Halo 3 the entire day until they had to go home. Holy fuck. Halo 3 has some of my best gaming memories locked away in there, man. I've had good gaming memories. I've played COD Zombies, I've played Minecraft, I've played Call of Duty multiplayer, but nothing will ever beat nostalgia for Halo 3, man. I mean, fuck. The gunplay was magnificent. The fucking kill streaks, the fucking kill-tacular. It felt so good when you would get those, man. And don't get me started with this game's introducing customization. You can customize your own Spartan to look how you want it to be. Everyone had unique calling cards. Forge was introduced. Theater mode was introduced. Holy fuck, what wasn't introduced in this game, man? The maps were improved. They took maps from Halo 2, revamped them, put them in here. Oh my god, more game modes. Dude, this multiplayer was some of the best multiplayer I've ever played. I still play it to this day with Halo, my Master Chief Collection.
Overkill.
Sadly, I really wish I could say more about Halo 3 ODST, but I didn't grow up playing it. I mean, I only grew up playing Halo CE 2, 3, and Reach, and 4. I really missed out though, because recently I did complete the game with my friend a couple weeks ago, and holy hell, the characters in this game, man, were some of the best character design I've seen in a Halo game, by far. I mean, yeah, Halo 2 did have amazing, but, you know, it's got Buck, bro. Buck. I think the best way I'd describe the game is it rivals a lot of the best Halo games with what they're good at. It rivals Halo 2's character design. It rivals Halo 3's music. It rivals Halo CE's flow. I mean, and what an amazing game. And we're reaching a closing. Not of the video, but of Bungie. Halo Reach was the love letter. It was the swan song of Bungie Halo. It was a send-off. Bungie was selling Halo to 343 Industries. Some say 343 ruined the franchise, and it is partially true, yes. But, man, Halo Reach was a damn good game, man. But it was more flawed than the previous 4 games. Its multiplayer was a little bit lackluster with some people. Some people felt the gameplay was a little bit drier compared to the older games. Surprisingly, I know. I enjoyed the gameplay. I think the gameplay was great in this game. I didn't really understand it when I first heard about it too. But man, as Bungie typically do, they fucking delivered on a story, man. Bungie was originally going to close off the Halo franchise with Halo 3. And some say they should have. Some say they're glad they continued. I'm one of the ones who were glad it continued. But, to an extent. But Halo Reach went back. Before Halo CE, the game is a direct sequel. Where Halo Reach ends, Halo CE picked up. I think that was a very good idea of the game makers to do that. It shows the tale of Reach, the planet that was destroyed and annihilated by the Covenant forces. It shows the fall of Noble Team and their deaths as they tried so hard to defend this planet, to trying to save it, to trying to leave it, just to all be swept away in a glassy shatter. Now, in my faithful opinion, I think Halo Reach is definitely up there with one of the best stories, but is definitely down there with some of its multiplayer. I didn't really get to play the Halo Reach in its prime multiplayer. I really only played Halo Reach multiplayer MCC. I was really interested in the story growing up, I don't know. But it is not fun. The armor cores ruin the gameplay, the jetpacks are so annoying, the guns are just finicky to use, the sprinting is annoying. I mean, there was so much wrong with the multiplayer. It caused people to just say, hey, I'm just gonna go back to Halo 3. And that's what a lot of people did. Some were let down somehow by this game, but I think it served its potential. And I think it was a lovely send-off for Bungie. But now, we must close Bungie's chapter and open 343's. And the fall of Halo. Halo 4 is probably the most debatable launch ever in all the Halo games. People were kind of looking forward to what 343 was going to do with this series. I mean, this was new developers working on this franchise that everyone has held so dearly to their heart. But for many, it was a letdown. It was a game that just didn't live up to expectations. They did weird choices that people didn't really like. It strayed from it completely changed the art style, the direction. It made no sense. Now, personally, I think the art style does good in some spots, but doesn't really in some spots. I think the Forerunner looked cool, and Master Chief looks super fucking badass, but I don't like how the Covenant look in this game. They look fucking stupid. Halo 4 lacked in its story, its presentation, the main antagonist, the Didact, was so boring, and introduced characters like Lasky that weren't all that interesting. And Halo 4 is the beginning of Halo giving in to modern day features. I mean, that doesn't necessarily a bad thing too. It's just the way it's done. It's kind of like having a formula, a perfect formula, but you take someone else's formula and mix it in. Those two formulas don't really mix well together. I don't know. The story was lackluster, and the gameplay was dry. But what I will give it, though, is its cutscenes. The cutscenes are amazing in this game. And I really love how they tried to humanize Master Chief. Surprisingly, a majority of Halo fans very much dislike the idea of humanizing Master Chief, John, whatever you want to call him. And I don't really get it. I mean, I love seeing Master Chief act more like a human being. He's not a machine, he's a human. And I always loved how he shows feelings and thoughts and emotions. I mean, he's not just some war machine. And people don't like that. I mean, I guess I can see why. It's inserting yourself into the game and seeing it through your eyes. But then again, I've grown such an attachment to Master Chief. I fucking love the idea of seeing him progress in the emotions. Halo 4 was very, very debatable with a lot of Halo fans. I think the game was pretty okay though, considering. But a lot of people say it's one of the worst. But I enjoyed the game. But for Halo fans, they really didn't know how worse it would get with Halo 5. One of the worst games in the entire series. Halo 5 is one of the worst things that happened in Halo. It proved that 343 wasn't able to handle the series. People already didn't enjoy Halo 4, and this was the game that came out afterwards. It was horrible. The characters were dry, the story was horrible. Cortana being the villain was fucking stupid. It was horrible. Cortana just does this complete 180 from the character which she once was. It makes no sense. And for people who don't read the comics, they have no clue what is happening. Don't get me started on Spartan Locke too, and Vale and Tonka, or whatever their names are, the most boring characters of all time. Buck is the only reason that Fireteam Osiris is good, and that's because he's from Halo ODST. On the other hand, Blue Team, I love Blue Team, because it's a bunch of comic characters that I've loved for years, but that's the thing, these are comic characters. Most Halo players who only play the games aren't really gonna know who the hell these people are. Don't get me started with the advertising. The advertising was setting up this huge showdown between Spartan Locke and Master Chief. It was going to show who was going to win and who was going to die. And it was horrible. It was nothing like the game. The whole game was nothing like the trailers. It was fake advertising. The only thing I can give the game credit for was its cutscene. And that's it. It's not that hard to make good cutscenes. I mean, Halo 3 had the pinnacle. I feel like the story went from about courage and sacrifice and the human soul and how hard you will fight to protect the ones you love to some kind of action thriller genre that fucking Hollywood shit out. And the multiplayer for this game was just as bad as Halo 4's. Just a rehash of Call of Duty. That's all Halo had became. Just another Call of Duty game with its sprinting and its aiming, and it's just... Some say Halo had adapted. I say it succumbed. Halo 5 was a stain on the franchise. Horrible. But something would happen. Something would change. Halo Infinite was a callback to the old times. It revived Halo. They had one shot. One last shot. And they did it. Halo Infinite is an amazing game. Years and years of 343 treating this franchise like dog shit and walking over it. And they realized they needed to do better. They went back to how it usually was. It was a soft reboot of the series. They went back to the old art style. They brought back old enemies. The gameplay was so fun for new players and old players alike. The campaign was interesting and amazing. I think this Master Chief is the best Master Chief we've had in the entire franchise. It's like they still have the original humanoid Master Chief of feelings and thoughts. He gives wisdom to Echo 216. But they also have the cold, silent badass that was from the original games. It's like, that's so good. Returning back to its roots. 343 did amazing with this game. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, like, oh, Halo Infinite was ass, I hated Halo Infinite. But again, like I said, the video is called My Experience with the Halo franchise, okay? These are my opinions, and I love Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite is one of my top games. This campaign was so smooth. It felt like a Far Cry game, really. I actually cared about the characters this time around. I cared about the weapon. I cared about Echo 216. And the scene right here was so sad. I almost cried watching it when I first played this game.
Daddy's listening. Can you say hi? Hi. And how big are you? How big are you? Can you tell Daddy how big you are? Are you so big? So big. And can you sing? Good singing. How about I miss you? Miss you. And I love you. I love you. I love you, Daddy. I love you, Daddy. And I can't wait to see you. Can you say see you? See you. Good, and bye-bye. Bye-bye.
That's actually so fucking sad. And it's the fact that I even felt that kind of emotion since Halo 3. God, I love this game, man. And the antagonists in this game are great as well. I love the Banished and I love Escheron. And I love how at the end of the game, spoiler alert, when you beat Escheron, I understood. I sympathized with Escheron. I was like, yeah, he's like what Master Chief said, he was just a soldier, fighting for his cause. I would love to see the Banished expanded on, because remember, we're not fighting the Covenant in this game, we're fighting the Banished. And I think that's really fucking cool. I think the Banished could be a really interesting faction. I'd love to see them more in future Halo games. But anyway, enough about the campaign, let's talk about the multiplayer for this game. Oh man, the multiplayer. I really enjoy the multiplayer of this game. When I started playing this, it took me right back to the good old Halo 3 days. The fucking maps are great. The armors are debatable though. I'm not gonna sit here and glaze it and say how perfect it is. It has had flaws. The grappling hook is so cool. All the abilities are cool. The guns are all balanced. But there are issues, as in matchmaking. Matchmaking could be better for this game. Half the time I find myself getting put against some of the most sweatiest players I've ever played against in my entire time. But then, sometimes I'm put against people who I feel like they just started playing yesterday. And it's just so inconsistent. The battle rifle is also back to how it was. We got Halo 3 battle rifle, and it sounds amazing. Oh yeah, that's something I should mention too. The sound design in this game is great. I love the sound of hitting headshots on motherfuckers. I think Halo Infinite is a great step back to how Halo should be. And Halo Infinite I love it, man. I think Halo Infinite is a great game. Don't listen to all these grifters on the internet talking about how Halo sucks because it's woke or some stupid bullshit. Just try to enjoy the game, man. I know it has flaws. Every game has flaws. But I really enjoy this. But enough about Halo Infinite, the last Halo game to be released. And now I want to take a segment to talk about my feelings about Halo nowadays as a whole. I want to talk about how Halo is nowadays, and to be honest with you, it's not looking good. I know I just got done talking about the last Halo game that was released and how good it was and how much I enjoyed it, but that was years ago that game came out. It's not looking great nowadays. And before I get into it, no, it's not because the game is fucking woke or whatever you call it. Just shut up. It's not woke. You're just a fucking grifter. But anyway, with 343 gone and Halo Studios here, nothing's really changed. Halo is still Halo. 343 is still around. It's just called Halo Studios now, and Halo Studios is Microsoft, one of the worst companies known to gaming. All Microsoft does is just buy games and trash them beyond repair. And lately with these Halo dig site stuff, I'm not too caught up with what's going on, but from what I've heard, it's actually disgusting shit. They don't care about the fan base. They don't care about what we do or what we dedicate our time to for this series. They only care about themselves and money. I miss Bungie, and I miss how much they care. Bungie used to go out of their way to make sure that the fans were pleased with their games. They take feedback on that game and use that to build the next game. But 343, or Halo Studios, I'm just gonna call it 343, they just ignore you. They call you, oh, you don't know what you're doing, you're not a game developer. So they think they know what's best. And it's not like this is new. For years and years, fans have been asking for playable elites back, dual wielding back, all sorts of stuff like that. And they just straight up say, no, we're not gonna do that. Even though it would make so many people happy. They don't want to do it because it's harder for them. And don't get me started with the Halo x Doom crossover thing. That one of Microsoft's two biggest labels, having a crossover for years. I mean, the guy who sent them the request poured his heart and soul out, talking about how much he loved Doomslayer, he loved Doom, how much he loved Master Chief, he loved Halo, and they just said no. They don't give a fuck. It makes me so sad to see how Halo is being handled nowadays, but I'm somehow optimistic. There's so much negativity in the Halo community, and some of it, and not some of it, but most of it is rightfully so. People should be mad at 343. People should be mad at Halo Studios. People should be upset with what's happening in the game, and I agree with people who boycott their games. But I still have faith. That's what Halo's always taught us. Faith. I still think Halo can be saved. I don't think Halo is dead. And I want to see it rise back again. I think that's about it. That's about all I have to say. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you're not one of my friends and you're just some random guy who stumbled upon this video and watched it to the end, I really appreciate it. This video was really only made for, you know, my own entertainment, but if you liked the video, then I'm glad to have entertained you as well. I'm so glad I got to talk about one of my favorite games ever and give my own opinion. I've always wanted to make a video form kind of like this, and I'm really happy with how the video turned out. Now, I know there's a lot of stuttering and there's a lot of repeating, but, you know, I've never made a video like this, and, you know, there's no script I'm working on, so. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you for watching my video on Halo.
make it.
It's been an honor serving with you, Jack.